By 23, I'd cleared my loans, bought a home, and built a six-figure business without my parents' help. When the Golden Sister went bankrupt, they sued me for stealing her future. I didn't settle. I made an example of them. When I turned 18, my father handed me a packed garbage bag and my high school diploma. We invested everything in your sister, he told me without looking up from his paper. Kayla has vision. You're a worker. Go work. Kayla had received the trust fund, the Ivy League tuition, the brand new BMW, and eventually, a $250,000 seed check for her luxury lifestyle consultancy. I got a pair of steel-toed boots and a bedroom on a friend's floor. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just went to work. For 5 years, I lived on canned tuna and 4 hours of sleep. I started a niche logistics and fleet optimization firm. I took the contracts nobody wanted, worked 80-hour weeks, and poured every single penny back into the system. By 23, I was debt-free. My company cleared 6 figures in monthly recurring revenue. I closed on a modern 4-bedroom house with an acre of land, paid entirely in cash. I never posted it on social media. I never bragged. The only reason my family found out was because my father ran a title search when Kayla's empire inevitably imploded. Kayla hadn't built a business. She had built an aesthetic. She blew through her seed capital, drained my parents' retirement accounts, racked up $400,000 in vendor debt, and finally filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. 2 weeks after her filing, my parents showed up at my front door. My mother didn't ask how I was doing. She walked past me, scanned my vaulted ceilings, and crossed her arms. You need to sign over 50% of your equity to Kayla, she said flatly, and sell this house to pay off her creditors. It's only fair. I built this alone, I replied, leaning against the counter. You gave me a trash bag. You only succeeded because we pushed you to be tough, my father snapped. We sacrificed your youth to make you resilient. Kayla took a creative risk for this family. You stole her future by hoarding your wealth while she suffered. I told them to leave. 3 weeks later, I was served with a lawsuit. They had hired a predatory contingency fee attorney. They sued me for unjust enrichment and misappropriation of family intellectual property, claiming my logistics platform was built on proprietary business models. Kayla had drafted during college. They thought I would panic. They thought the threat of a public, messy trial would force me into a quiet 6-figure settlement just to protect my company's reputation. They forgot who taught me how cold the world could be. I didn't settle. I hired the most ruthless forensic corporate litigator in the state. Do you want to dismiss this quickly or do you want to dismantle them? My lawyer asked. Dismantle them, I said. During discovery, we subpoenaed everything. Every bank account, every tax return, every ledger, and every hard drive tied to Kayla's failed business and my parents' assets. My parents expected a quick surrender. Instead, they walked into a buzzsaw. My forensic team discovered that 3 years prior, while I was grinding 20-hour shifts, my father and Kayla had opened a fraudulent line of credit using my social security number to keep her boutique afloat. When it defaulted, they had shuffled the debt into an offshore shell account to hide it from her bankruptcy court. They had committed bank fraud, identity theft, and bankruptcy fraud. My attorney requested a formal deposition. I sat across the mahogany table in a tailored suit, silent, while my lawyer laid the printed banking trails, forged signatures, and transfer logs in front of them one by one. Kayla started sobbing. My father's face turned gray. Look, son, my father stammered, his hands shaking violently. We can drop the lawsuit today. We're family. We made a mistake. You didn't drop the lawsuit, I said, speaking for the first time in 6 months. You made a sworn claim under penalty of perjury, and in doing so, you handed me the legal authority to open every closet you owned. I didn't scream. I didn't gloat. I simply pushed my chair back and walked out of the room. We filed counterclaims for identity theft, fraud, and legal fees. We forwarded the forensic financial audit directly to the Department of Justice and the federal bankruptcy trustee. Kayla's bankruptcy protection was immediately revoked for fraudulent concealment of assets. The state opened criminal investigations into both her and my father. To avoid prison, my parents had to liquidate their home, surrender their remaining savings, and sign enforceable restitution agreements. Kayla is now working a minimum wage retail shift just to pay off the interest on her court-ordered fines. Yesterday, my mother left me a voicemail begging for groceries. I didn't delete it. I saved it as a reminder of what happens when you mistake my silence for weakness.